Okay, let's cook butter chicken. I'm using a fairly low heat here because I want to cook it fairly slowly. That's about 20 ml of vegetable oil. That's 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic, 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, and I've got about a teaspoon of green chilli here. I'd normally use red with a dish like this which has cream in it. It just looks nicer, but I don't have any red chilli, so I'm using green. I don't want to brown this, so just quickly move it around like that until we've just got it slightly cooked. I'll take that off the heat. That's powdered almond, about 2 tablespoonfuls of that, quite a lot. That's a very good thickener. This is a trick that the Spanish know very well. And you can fry it and toast it, slightly brownish if you want, just to develop its flavour, but don't catch it. Okay, so what you can see we've got there is a sort of bit of a paste forming. Now into that, it's about a couple of teaspoons of tomato paste. Work that in. And again, the moisture in the tomato paste is going to stop us from browning and burning too much, so we're just keeping it at a nice gentle heat. I'm going to come off the heat now. That's just brown sugar, about 2 teaspoonfuls. Work that in. There's enough residual heat in the pan to start to caramelise the sugar. And I'm going to put in my dry spices. So I've got about a teaspoonful of tandoori mix, about the same, little bit of a generous teaspoonful of spice mix, about half that of garam masala. This is kasuri methi, dried methi leaf, about a teaspoonful, something like that. So work all that in. We're still off the heat here, so the pan's cooling. But I really don't want to get this too hot and start to catch any of this. I like this. This is traditionally not a very hot dish, but I do like a bit of kick to it. So I'm going to put in half a teaspoonful of chili powder. That's entirely optional. And normally wouldn't appear in this, but I just like it. Okay, so I'm going to go back on the heat, just fuse that. You can see that's quite a sort of sticky, thick, dark paste now. And I reckon we've got enough heat in there just to make it sizzle a little bit when the gravy goes in. So just in with 1 litre of gravy and work all that in together. So we've got a good thick paste forming here. A little bit more. Now then, this is called butter chicken and it has a lot of butter in it. You might think that's more than is good for you, and you're probably really right. I want a bit more heat than that. And I'm going to put cream in now. Probably a good 100 ml going in there. So if it wasn't rich before, it sure is now. Look at that. A lot of chefs at this stage would add food colouring. Maybe yellow, maybe orange, maybe red. I don't think you need it. I think the tandoori masala and the tomato between them are giving that quite a nice orangey, glossy orangey appearance, and that's fine for me. But if you want it to look like the one from your local takeaway, and if your local chef cooks a bright orange curry, you go ahead. Nothing wrong with that. Just before the chicken goes in, here's some yoghurt. This is probably a couple of tablespoons. Plain low-fat yogurt. I prefer the low-fat stuff. You can cook with a Greek yogurt. A lot of people like that because it complements the cream and makes the sauce even richer. But I'm doing a diet version of the dish, so this is the low-fat yogurt going in there. Look at that beautiful, succulent chicken tikka. That's going to go in. Right, you can see that sauce is thickening. The almonds are thickening it up. All that butter is making it glossy. The sugar is making it sweet, and the yogurt is just giving it a little bit of sweet and sour to go with the sugar. I'm going to put the heat up under that, and I'm just going to add a bit more gravy, bubble that down. And that'll be done in a moment. When this is cooked at home, traditionally, sometimes finished with a smoking coal, and I'm going to do that now just for a bit of fun really. It just gives it a slight smokiness, and above all it's fun, and if you're cooking this for the kids, they love the smoking coal bit. Now, as I say, I've just had the tandoor going to cook the chicken tikka, so I'm about to pop outside and whip a glowing coal out to the tandoor. And what I'm going to do is just drop it into, that's an egg cup with oil in it, about a tablespoonful of oil. That's actually a mixture of mustard oil and rapeseed oil. Mustard oil can be a bit controversial, so just use what you're comfortable with. I'm going to put you on hold while I pop outside and get my coal. Okay, and here we have a glowing coal. I'm going to attempt to put my oil in the middle of the pan, drop the coal in and get the lid on quick. This is probably all going to fall over and catch fire, but I'm ready with a fire extinguisher. There it goes. Looks like dry ice. Lid on that, well, that smells fantastic. Right, and just leave that for about 4 or 5 minutes, just enough for the smoke to infuse into the sauce. Okay, the smoke has cleared. The butter chicken has absorbed the flavour of the smoke, and I'm about to burn my finger. The oil's done its job. Let's take that away. So it smells really smoky and nice. Butter chicken, Murgh Makhani.